Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Howdy ho, everyone. Dwayne
That's
Mariner
right.
joining us here today with a little Texas twang from Alpha Hydration and Wellness. Although based out of Los Angeles, California, he joins us today live from Texas. Where exactly?
Amarillo, Texas.
Amarillo,
Right.
that
Yeah.
Amarillo sky, like Jason Aldean sings. Well, you look amazing.
That's right.
He's got his
Right? Is
foam
this not a great
cowboy
look?
hat on. I love it. Tell me the story behind the foam cowboy hat right now. I gotta hear
It's
it.
perfect. So 2013. Our daughter-in-law was living with us out in Florida. We had an RV. We were travel nursing, and we were going to Disney's Magic Kingdom for Halloween horror nights or whatever it's called. Well, I said, can I get a big foam cowboy hat? She said, absolutely not. You're never getting a big foam cowboy hat. Forget about it. I said, man, you're a fun sucker. So she got this, her and our daughter-in-law got these big, giant foam head hairs.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw them, I ordered the cowboy hat. I mean, immediately. And I said, oh, you can't deny me the cowboy hat if you're going to have the big, giant blonde hair. So that is how that happened. And so every now and again, I bring it out as a treat for her because she likes it so much. And I figured today was a good day
tip your head down. Let me see the whole hat. When we first signed on, I thought he would like have one of those like Snapchat app like emoji things, and I'm like, oh no, that's real because he moved his head, and I'm like,
yeah.
Well, Dwayne, welcome to the show again. You are fascinating. So obviously you're back visiting family. Is that what's happening?
I am. Yeah, we went to a concert in Oklahoma.
What'd you see? Who'd you see?
Shinedown.
Nice.
Yeah, they're amazing. There was 3 other bands. They were good too. Did that. Went and did a little bit of gambling. Came back home yesterday. Played golf this morning. Hence the sweaty face. And we literally just got done. And I was like, oh my gosh! Yet again, I've forgotten that I have a podcast.
That's okay. Well, I spoke to
pretty
Josh
far
at the
from
office.
me.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well, good.
Alpha
So now I'm
Hydration
just
and
kinda-
Wellness.
Yeah, Alpha Hydration and Wellness. We try to keep you healthy. We try to keep ourselves healthy. That's why we go out. We go play golf when it's 100 degrees. We do whatever we can. We hydrate. We do it all. I'll let you look around here right quick. This is kind of in my barn. I have some music stuff, the crab, the Coke machine that's old and doesn't work.
Oh, my
but it will
goodness.
someday. So I'm just chilling out in the it's really a garage for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
And trying to cool off now because it is hot. And we just finished about an hour ago playing golf. So
how
now
hot
my
is
next
hot
step
in Amarillo?
100.
Oh.
100 is hot.
Is it a dry
it's usually
dry heat or a wet heat?
It's usually dry. It was dry today. It wasn't bad.
Okay.
It's it's hot. It's not that muggy heat. It's not that oppressive heat. But it's a beautiful day. I mean, it was 93, about 11, but a little bit of wind, just enough to blow the air like a little air conditioner. But it's livable. It's livable. LA is much worse because it's an oppressive heat. It gets into, it gets in where we're at, it gets into the 110s sometimes. It's not often, but when it does, it just scorcher. It's awful.
Hence, you're in a great field of hydrating.
Yeah.
So many.
We are. We have a lot of people that come in like, I just feel so dry. I'm like, because you are. You can't drink enough. It's impossible. And we do. I think I did, for myself, I think I did 2 bags. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. 2 bags last week just to stay up because it's so tough, because it just sucks the life out of it. And living in New York, man, I've been there in the summer. It's hot.
It's bad too, but I stay indoors a lot, which is good. But I don't know.
Indoors helps.
Yeah. But then again, does it with the air conditioning and the I don't know, right? I don't know what's good for us, but I do know that you're helping people feel a lot better. You always do. We talked last week about those with COVID and how COVID's back on the rise, and we're seeing a lot of people need anything this week. What have you been working on?
COVID. I mean, lots of COVID. We've had a lot of people with COVID, a lot of people with what they think are long COVID again, a lot of vaccinated people who are just not feeling well. They're just not getting
Yep.
over it.
Yep.
And I'm not going to blame it on the vaccine. I'm not going to blame it on anything. It's the disease. I mean, it's the process. And sometimes it just likes to hang on. It's really hard to get rid of. It's really hard to deal with because it just sucks the life out of you. It makes you so tired that you're just like, oh, I'm never going to be better again. And it just keeps
Yeah.
feeling like that the whole time you're doing it. So we're seeing lots of COVID people. Moreover, we're seeing a lot of people that are traveling. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
That are you might not have seen that out, but lots of people that are traveling, going overseas. This is a big time in LA for people to travel. School's about to start. Summer's kind of wrapping up for everybody. So lots of traveling people. So we're doing lots of IVs for people that are traveling, and lots of older people who are just dry, and they're going to their doctor. Their doctor's calling us saying, "Hey, they need fluids." Like, well, okay,
Yeah.
tell us where to go. And we've been doing a lot of that too. It's just kind of been a little bit of everything. Everybody's kind of catching back up on their health over the since spring, because spring kind of slows down. I don't really know why. It just kind of slows down, and then people start planning for their vacation and stuff, and they start picking up and start getting IVs, and you might do some hormone replacement therapy, so they're in full mode to go travel the world, as it were. And it's all the stuff that we do. I mean, it's game changers. It's game changers for how you feel, how you attack life, how you get out and do things.
Yeah.
It's you don't even have to have an active lifestyle to get dry.
Yeah.
And in fact, we just saw our son and our daughter-in-law,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Wow, we just can't seem to catch up on water." I'm like, "No, because you can't. You got to drink all day. Put it away, and hopefully you retain a lot of it. But we just pee a lot out."
Yeah.
So they said they're just like, "Man, I wish we had some IVs because that concert was hot. It was probably 100, and it's muggy in Oklahoma. All the trees, and whew, it was rough. It was rough, but we
Oh,
survived. We survived. We had a great time, and thank God for doing IVs before we left, because that just is a game changer for how you approach the outdoors. You don't drink as much water because you're hydrated, but you stay on top of it. And even today, I still feel good after a round of golf,
I was going to say, do you
which
bring it out there? You bring it to Texas for the family and friends?
we do. We do. We didn't do one because we blasted into town yesterday, got in about 6, and we were so exhausted because we got into Texas on Saturday after a 10-hour delay and outside of LA for it took 10 hours to go 200 miles. It was terrible.
Wow.
The stuff nightmares are made of when you're driving.
Oh,
We got in late Saturday, picked up Sunday, went to Oklahoma, hung out with them Monday, went to the concert Tuesday, and then turned right back around, and here we are today and playing golf. So we're just burning at both ends, which is really not our typical lifestyle. But when we feel good
okay.
and feel energized between the HRT, the fluids, everything, you just feel like going and doing. You don't have that.
Going
Yeah, I
and
don't want
going
to.
and going and
Yes,
going, right?
and
Like the
it's totally
Energizer Bunny.
antithetical. Yeah, really, it is, because it's totally antithetical to what we've been for the last, well, I don't want to say 10 years, but with it, since we started doing all this stuff within the last 10 years, it's like, what do you want to do? Nothing. What do you want to do? Nothing. You just want to
Mm.
sit here? Yeah, let's just sit here. So it's really changed our lives. And another modality I've added, which is not necessarily our business, but some friends of ours that I've started doing, is cold plunges, which
What
are
what is it?
unbelievable.
Cool what?
Cold plunges.
Oh, cold
Yeah,
plunges.
they are unbelievable. When I do one of those, my body just says, this is awesome. It gives me energy. I don't have any aches and pains. I did one last night at my house.
I was going to
Best
say
I
we're
could
cold
for our
plunging into the
tub.
bathtub, but we're doing this at home.
Well, they actually have a facility that we partner with,
Oh,
but it's constantly, it's cooled to, they can go to 34. Last time I did
okay.
40 degrees. You do about 3 or 4 minutes, but it's what it does for the body is unbelievable. So couple that with the IVs, and I mean, I feel as good as I've felt in 20 years, which
Wow.
is really surprising to me, because I thought, before we did all this, I was like, man, life's really gonna suck for me, because
Oh,
I don't feel I don't feel great. I don't really want to do anything. I don't have any desire to do anything. And just as we've moved forward with our business, with
yep.
our collaborations and learning, and accepting that knowledge that somebody else may have with other stuff, we've able to optimize our lives as well. It may not pad our bank account, so to speak,
Yep.
but it makes our lives better. If you have a good life, good things follow. It's just how it goes. If you have a good story to tell, or even somebody that can say, "Hey, I don't make money on this, but you should go do this because it has
Hmm.
changed the way we feel." And I highly recommend the cold plunge, especially if you don't like hot. It's like, bleh,
Well,
but it
let me
just
ask you,
cures.
how is the cold plunge relate to like what are those tanks that people are going in?
Yeah,
Right?
that's it.
Like,
Well, it's so those tanks are
what is
cryo
that?
chambers. It's
Yes, cryo something.
nitrogen. You stand in there for anywhere, three as long as you can, anywhere from about 160 below zero to 220 below zero. The difference with the cold plunge is the water actually dissipates all of that heat
Oh,
as opposed to that nitro chamber. It's just different.
okay.
It's brutal for about the first minute and a half, and I mean
Hmm.
brutal. But then once you get used to it, then once you come out and you're just like, whoa, man, that's amazing. And they do the cryo chamber too. He said, I'm all about trying the worst thing because that negative 220 sounds terrible. And he said, no, no,
Huh.
cold plunge is much worse. And I said, okay, then I'll do that. Let's try that.
Yeah.
And I'm a convert. I mean, I'm going to get one for my house. It's going to be a cheapie, but just a way to chill it down. And in fact, this is my, I'll show you. This is my, there's my big thing of
Is
ice I
that
made to throw in
ice?
my tub. Yes.
What is that? Oh my gosh.
It's a big pot of ice just so I can throw it in my tub. I'm going to run the
Wow.
water over it so it'll cool. Even if it gets to 50 degrees, it's still beneficial. Not
Oh
as
wow.
beneficial, but it still feels good. So it's something that I'm really happy about that I've added. We have not really added it to our services, but we've added it to our services via a collaboration that we can actually say, hey, you guys need to try this. And people have been telling
Okay.
us for years, you have to try it. We're like, nah, it sounds too cold. Yeah, I don't like it. No, I don't want to do that. Even one of my
Well,
best friends, he said, dude, just do it. I said, no, I don't want to. That sounds terrible. He said, oh,
yeah.
it's terrible, but it feels awesome when you're done. And I'm like, couldn't agree more. And it goes perfect with the IVs because it pulls toxins. You flush those toxins out. It's just like getting a massage. When they release those toxins, you have to get those toxins out, so you don't
Yeah.
get a rhabdomyolysis or anything like that. You just have to
Yeah.
flush. It's all about staying hydrated. I mean, again, water is key. I feel like it's very redundant to say it. I feel
I'm
like we've
out
been
of
having it
water.
preached to
I'm
us.
out of
Right.
water. I'm out of tea, out of
Well,
coffee.
see, right, yeah. And you just want to, when it becomes a habit,
Yes.
then it changes your life to stay that. And even, like I said, even still, I drink water all day. But if I
Yeah.
say, I feel a little dry, boom, IV, I'm back up, I feel better. Now I'll go do a cold plunge where to flush out the toxins. Man, life is good when you
Life
do
is
that.
good
Just,
today.
it is. It's like in fact, it's funny because I keep my swimming trunks in my car. Can y'all see that when that pops up?
Nope.
Oh, good. Okay. When I'm in my car, I just keep my trunks in there. So if I'm going to go see them, because we collaborate with them, they're literally right next door to us. But sometimes I have to drive over because for whatever reason, if it's the last moment of the day or whatever, I'll take my trunks if they have an opening. I'll jump in right quick because it is just. I mean, it's the cat's
Searching.
pajamas. I know that sounds
Aw.
hysterical and dumb, but it is the cat's pajamas. I am a huge convert,
I
a
love that.
big
The cat's
fan, and
pajamas.
isn't that funny? And it's such a nice therapy to couple with that cold plunge, that cryo, all that. You can't just do one modality to stay healthy.
Nope.
There's just not one thing. You got to do a ton of things.
Aw.
You got to take your supplements. You got to hydrate when you can't hydrate enough. Come see us. We'll give you the vitamins, give you all the things that's going to make you better, keep you pumped up, let you act, let you be at that full energy level that you are used to, if that makes sense. And people that come to us and they're like, oh, I'm so low on energy. And I'm like, well, let me just tell you what you need to do. I got loads of info for you. And
I
I am
love
a huge salesman for that stuff. Just do it. For them, I think it may be $20-$30 for a cold plunge, but it's $20 or $30 that
oh my gosh.
really could change your life the way it makes you feel. I think it's that awesome that I
Yeah.
want to. I don't want to add them to our place in California because, they're good guys. We work with them. They work with us. I would never want to, take away from that, from their business and our collaboration. But in Texas, it's a very distinct possibility. I may start offering that because it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And there's so much science behind it. There's lots of cryotherapy stuff that's done, even in hospitals. They do a lot of cryotherapy. We do a lot of cryotherapy status post a cardiac arrest because it preserves matter. It preserves brain matter. It just does so much. Cold is in smaller amounts is so good for our bodies. We don't need to be hot all the time. We don't need to be cold all the time. We need to have that happy medium every now and then. You just need that click.
I do want to go to an ice hotel,
body.
though. I've always wanted to go to an ice hotel.
Yeah, you could slide around on the ice. Just put your trunks on and go lay on the ice. Woo, that'd be cold, man. They are cool though, like those ones in Sweden or Switzerland or I don't know where those are. I want to say they're in Sweden because it's so far north, or probably Finland, Norway. Yeah, I think that'd be cool
Lapland,
too.
Finland. I saw something about that. One of those because they have like a Christmas place for kids, with like the home of Santa, and they have like ice hotels. I'm dying to try one.
No, you should. You should. What do you got to lose? It's only money. You can't take it with you anyway.
Just like $10,000 probably just to get a trip there. But yeah, oh my gosh.
Probably. Yeah. Can't take it with you anyway. Spend it. Have fun. Live life.
You're right.
That's where I'm at. I see people that squirrel it away. I'm like, we'll say, well, they have money. I'm like, yeah, they squirrel it away, but what do? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They got money to pass on. I want money to live on. I want to have fun. That's why we optimize. That's why we're like, how do we feel better? And how do we make it where we ourselves are changing how we live? We do a lot of intermittent fasting. My wife and I, we fast about 24 hours ish every day. And it's do a water fast, water, tea, nothing, just no like food or shakes or anything. And it's another game changer. I mean, it's changing our blood work, our chemistries. It's showing that we see an objective data to this stuff that we're doing that's actually improving our overall health. And I've told you before, I'm a big guy. I've always been a big guy. I'm probably the smallest I've ever been. And I don't know, elementary school, not really, but
all right.
It's just all this stuff we're doing.
Dwayne, I'm sorry we must go. How do we reach you?
No, it's my fault.
I love your cowboy hat. It's fine. You look great today.
Right.
Tell the wife I said hello and we liked it. It's humorous. It's humorous to us. How do we find you? What's the website?
www.ahsiv.com. You can find us on the socials.
Okay.
Insta, Facebook. It's at Alpha Hydration. There might be a dash in there, but I think it's just at Alpha Hydration.
Okay.
Text me 818-482-3252. Call me. Email me info@ahsiv.com.
All right.
I'm always available. I think any of my clients tell you that he answers. That's one thing I can guarantee. He'll answer.
You sure did. Thank you for being here today. Enjoy the rest of your time in Texas, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. And I'm sorry I was late. I apologize to you.
It's always okay. Don't worry. I like tracking it down. You're awesome. I knew you're still going to come. It's like 10 minutes in. I'm like, he's going to come in. And you did. You're always reliable. I did. Thank you, Dwayne.
Well, reliable, but not on time. Not in business. I'm always on time with my business. So my personal life is like.
Got it.
Okay.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
when I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.